Oh, hell. Let's go, Bourbon Quest. It's your host, Bourbon Steve. What a night. What a night. So, what I got in store for you tonight, we're doing extra aged whiskey. So, usually in my opinion, beyond 15 years, I tend to not be a fan of. I think it tends to be over oaked, plus anything over 15 years, the price and then what it brings to the table. I think that the typical sweet spot for me is between 8 and 12 years old. I'm sure there's some exceptions out there. I've not had Pappy Van Winkle or anything. But even that I think is way overhyped probably for what it is. But so I thought I would bring to you some extra aged bourbons tonight. We're going to do them in a blind flight. And I was surprised that I had this many that are opened on my shelf, because I usually keep between 120 to 140 bottles opened at any one time. So all of these have been opened except for one. So we're going to start it off with a bottle I picked up either a month or less than a month ago that I got through a lottery, and literally I was able to pick it up. I picked this up like a month ago or so, and literally 2 weeks before I had a chance to buy it at the distillery, and I want to say it was like 180, maybe 200, and it's this right here. It's the Elijah Craig 18-year-old, which, because I typically don't put a whole lot of value of stuff that's over 15 years old, it's not one that I was actually seeking or questing for or even wanted. And like I said, prior to me picking this up 2 weeks before, I was up at Heaven Hill, and it was one of the offerings that day, and because it was either like $180 or $200, I passed on it. Even though I never had one, I still passed on it. And got instead I got a Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond, which you could have saw that review a few weeks ago or whatever. But then, lo and behold, after I passed on it, 2 or 3 weeks later, I was given the opportunity to purchase it through a lottery, like at 160. Even though it wasn't, I could have cared less. I was like, well, I kind of feel obligated to buy it since I got it in a lottery, because hell, most of the time I don't win in a lottery. So I was like, what the hell, let's do it. Alright, so yeah, let's just go ahead and crack this bad boy. So it's the Elijah Craig single barrel 18-year-old. It's probably going to be another one I regret buying, but I felt obligated because I passed on it 2 weeks prior, which, yeah, I wasn't going to pay that, because number one, I didn't even care if I fucking got it. And then, so I got the Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond at the Heaven Hill Experience instead of this, which I was actually very well pleased with that. So anyways, so this is your fresh cork pop on Elijah Craig 18-year-old. Oh, America! And then we're gonna go ahead and pour it. Oh, we might have room there. And then, dadgummit, I did dishes. I gotta go get my jigger. Haha. Come on, baby. So, as always, on Bourbon Quest, when we do a fresh cork pop, we do a little 2-ounce pour into the infinity bottle. And then, we should have room in this. So let's go ahead and pour it in. Ba-ba. So Elijah Craig, 18-year-old. So yeah, so that's the one fresh cork pot, and then after I'm gonna go ahead and drink a little bit of this, let you know what I think, and then stay tuned because then we're gonna do the rest of these blind. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. No, it's sweet caramel, vanilla, and honestly, at 18 years old, it does not come. I mean, I get the oak, but it's not over oaked at all. To my surprise, the nose is freaking exceptional on this. Yeah, just the right. I mean, sweet vanilla, caramel, oak, but not over oaked, at least on the nose. All right. Hey, remember, stay hydrated, my friends. I'm already pleasantly surprised because I did not think I would like this at all, but at least on the nose, I think it's exceptional. Wow, a little bit of mint along with that vanilla and caramel. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. Yeah. Man, I get that mint, that vanilla, that caramel. Honestly, just the right amount of oakiness. I thought this would be over oaked. It's not. It's sweet. It's enjoyable. I do not. I mean, like I said, I passed on it before because I didn't even think I would like it being 18 years old. And I typically think anything above 15 years old, with a few exceptions, I will tend to pass on. But no, this is freaking phenomenal. I actually am glad I was forced into buying it by winning a lottery, because if I hadn't won in a lottery, I was going to pass on it every time, but then I felt obligated to buy it because I said I would in a lottery, even though it wasn't like my top pick or whatever. But I'm actually freaking enjoying this. The nose is great. Cheers. I am pleasantly surprised, which is great to know because I've been disappointed. If you watched in the last month, I was like, I spent way too much money on a Midwinter's Night Dram that I did not like, which I should have known better because I'm not a rye guy. I did not like it. What else did I not like recently that I paid a lot of money for? I don't remember. There's been at least 2 or 3 that I paid well over $100 for that I was not happy about, because I could have paid $50 or less for 2 or 3 other bottles in replace of those over that. But you know, it is what it is. It's part of not only being a bourbon requester, but also having a bourbon channel. Yeah, you got to take those. You got to take those swings. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss, sometimes you hit a home run. But no, I'm glad I got this Elijah Craig 18-year-old. It's, yeah, I would buy it again based upon this experience. All right, so I'm gonna just tell you a few things, and then we're gonna take a short break, and then come back and do the rest of these blind. But number 1, stay hydrated, my friends. Number 2, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. Does me a favor. We're trying to get our subscriptions up. We're trying to get monetized. Come on, bro. I need the money. Um, it doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me out just to get the subscriptions up. Because number one, I've got the watch hours, but to get monetized, you got to get to 1,000 subscribers. So we got a ways to go. So hit that subscribe button and tell your friends, your family, your in-laws, your outlaws, your ex-laws to subscribe also, so we can get the subscriptions up. And then that does the channel a favor. Then more importantly, do yourself a favor and ring that bell for notifications. That way you don't miss a damn thing on Bourbon Quest, just like tonight's extra aged whiskey. Haha. Hey, we got a lot more things coming up. This coming week is Thanksgiving. We'll be doing a freaking flight of wild turkey and some other crazy shit, followed by Black Friday. And then after that will be December. In December we'll do an advent calendar. I get to treat myself to 25 whiskeys. And then today I picked up an advent calendar for Q, which is cat treats. So that's going to be freaking phenomenal. So December 1st through December 25th will be a whiskey advent calendar for my treat, and also a whiskey, or not a whiskey, but a cat treat advent calendar for Q. So he'll be on here every day in December. And then right after Christmas, we'll start our blind flights for Whiskey of the Year. So, hey, that's why you want to hit subscribe, ring that bell, because you don't want to miss this shit, because I don't even know. We may do a special thing on Black Friday. We did last year a Black Friday drop at a local liquor store near me. I don't know if I'm going to make that happen this year. I'm going to have to get with him and see what they're going to drop, because if I think it's worthy or not. I know people will be lined up, and they were like 100 deep when I got there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they were lining up for freaking like Old Kirk and some other shit. So I don't know if I want to get up that early this year unless I know there's going to be something phenomenal dropped. So we'll see. So stay tuned. We will do a Black Friday video, whether it's a store drop or not. I can't release those details yet because I don't know. But yeah, and then leave a comment. Let me know what you think about. What is your sweet spot? What do you think is overaged? And yeah, leave those comments. Smash that like button. It helps the YouTube algorithms. But so stay tuned, because we're about to do all these blind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn, 7 bourbons. And I had a couple more, but I was like, I can't do them all. Which is surprising that I really have this many that are 15 years or older, because I tend to think that above 15 years old, with the exceptions, are overaged. But we're about to find out. So hey, stay tuned. I'm going to take a short break, swap all these up using a highly technical, sophisticated, dangerous, proprietary mixture assignment approved by NASA. Haha, that's a bunch of bullshit, but I like saying it. But we are going to do it. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. And remember, as always, that my wish for you is that all your Bourbon Quest dreams come true. Haha, hallelujah. Man, I can't even believe I got this many fucking old age bourbons open. Hell yeah. Alright, so as I mentioned, we're doing 7 extra aged bourbons tonight. Remember, stay hydrated, my friends. Jesus. Alright, so the lineup tonight, I'm gonna try and go through this fairly quickly because this is a lot of bourbon to drink. So we got Calumet, 16-year-old. This is Citation at 106 proof. We have Crown Royal, extra rare, aged 18 years. So 16, 18. We got Sam Houston, 15-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon at 103 proof. We got freaking Elijah Craig that we just cork popped on here at 18 years old. Only 90 proof though. We got Wild Turkey, Master's Keep, bottled in bond, so 100 proof, 17-year-old. And then we got, which I'm excited to see, this is going to be in contention for Whiskey of the Year, to my surprise, Knob Creek, 18-year-old, 100 proof, freaking yeah. And then the latest bottle that we picked up recently, the George Remus Gatsby Reserve. It's 15-year-old and is at 90. I thought it was at 98.6. It's actually at 97.8. Oh, it was the, yeah, my bad. 97.8. It was the last video I did with the High West Midwinter's Night Dren that was 98.6. So nonetheless, hey, don't pay attention to what glass is behind what bottle because they've been mixed up, rearranged, using a very high-tech, sophisticated, proprietary, dangerous method approved by NASA. Haha! That's a bunch of bullshit. I just like saying it. Remember, stay hydrated. So again, what do you think is your sweet spot for whiskey? For me, it's usually between 8 to 12 years old. These are all 15 and above, which typically I think I can still dig it with 15. I think above 15 is usually not my jam, but I mean, I was already surprised that, as you saw earlier with the Elijah Craig 18-year-old, and so was I with the Knob Creek 18-year-old. So obviously there's always exceptions out there, but I tend to think that over 15 years old, to me, becomes over oak. But I think all these are probably outliers of that because honestly, I don't think any of these I haven't liked. But we're doing them blind, so let us know. Hit that subscribe button. That does the channel a favor. Then do yourself a favor. Ring that bell for notifications. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. What's your sweet spot? What do you think is over oaked? And what kind of value do you put on age? I think that the trend or tendency is to at least put $10 per age. So if it's a 15-year-old, $150. If it's a 20-year-old, $200. But that's kind of been Heaven Hill's Old Fitzgerald model, and I think a lot of people have kind of followed that or copied that. But then again, there's also just some freaking crazy shit out there. I mean, we got to take back control because these whiskey prices are getting out of control. I mean, I stopped in a liquor store. It was one that is fairly new to my area and close to where I live, and I wanted to kind of help support. But then, I was in there like 2 weeks after they opened. Tried to develop a relationship with the guy. Let him know who I was, that I had a whiskey tube channel, blah, 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 blah. Super nice guy. And granted, I've been super busy and hadn't been in there since then until yeah, till today, because had a little bit of time off before I had to go into work, and I was like, oh, I'll swing in there. There's a couple allocated things I'm looking for, and then he has one of the things I was looking for, which is the Booker's 2022-03 Kentucky tea batch. But he had it priced for $189. I'm like, fuck that. If I'd had more time, I would probably try to talk to him and see if he wanted to negotiate. But it just kind of pissed me off up front. Like, I know MSRP is just below $100, like 95 or whatever. So if I'd had more time, I would be like, hey, are you willing to negotiate on this? Bro, I know MSRP on this is right under $100, which is probably not even worth that. But hey, I want it. You got it. I'll pay a slight premium. I'll offer you $120 for it. I don't know what I didn't have the time to make that offer. I don't know what he would have said. If I have time later this week and it's still there, I will make that offer. I'm like, I don't mind to pay a slight premium for an allocated bottle. It's one that I want, and one that I also have heard has gotten great reviews. And if he comes back and says, I'll give it to you for $125. Okay, I'm cool with that. Anything above that, like, fuck you, bro. Like, it ain't that important to me. Like, selling one bottle for whatever, $90 over retail is not making your rent. So you do not want me to come back and buy everyday stuff? That's the conversation you gotta have with these store owners. Like, what are you trying to do? You know, marking an allocated product 100% over MSRP is not paying your rent. And if you're gonna fuck me over on that, then I'm not coming in there to buy, you know, the everyday stuff on a consistent basis that does make your rent. You store owners need to get a clue. Yes, will some sucker come in there and buy it for $190? Yeah. Okay. But are they the ones that are coming back the next day, the next week, the next month that does pay your rent? No. So y'all need to get clued in, because I think a lot of us whiskey consumers are getting tuned in and realizing, like, we're not paying this fucking shit. Yeah, get that one sucker in there once a year that's going to pay that shit that you'll never see again, that doesn't pay your rent. You get a clue, store owner. Like I said, I'm not opposed to paying a premium for an allocated product, but not an exorbitant premium. That's where you gotta change your mindset, because we're changing our mindset, and we know we can get fucking good shit for $50 or less and not pay 100% markup on some allocated bullshit. Alright, that's my rant. Let's get into this. These are all blind. Blah, blah, blah. I'm probably gonna run out of time because I want another rant. Alright, so very sweet. Cheers. Yeah, sweet, but yeah, I'm not liking that one at all. Alright, stay hydrated, my friends. That was overly sweet. Now this has a little more character on it, a little bit more oak, cherry, vanilla. Cheers. Yeah, very sweet, cherry, vanilla, caramel. right amount of oak. Definitely better than the first one. This is a problem. When you do this many, it's kind of hard to rank them. Alright. Let's go to number 3. I think the nose on this is even a little bit more robust. A little bit more vanilla caramel, oak, a little bit of spice on this too. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. Yeah, a little bit more mint, a little bit more rye, a little bit more spice. I think, yeah, I would rank this above the second one. The nose is still good on this, a little bit more subtle than the last one. Cheers. Very similar flavor profile as the last one, but a little bit deeper hug, a little bit more pronounced flavors. Alright, I actually think this is better than the last one. Alright, that's 4 down, 3 to go. Damn, where you at, Q? This is the nose is very seductive on this. Just the right amount of spice, right amount of caramel, right amount of vanilla. I mean, alright, I'm trying to be cool and not be, but this is so seductive. Cheers. Oh, that is phenomenal. Beautiful legs, robust color, seductive on the nose, on the palate. That's freaking phenomenal. Interesting that everyone has gotten better. Let's hope the trend continues, because that's amazing. Alright. God damn. Alright, we got 2 more. A lot more cherry and chocolate. Again, robust on the nose. Nose is phenomenal. Cheers. Okay. Finally, not one that's better. It's like, it's a little bit more dark chocolate and dark fruit. Mouth feels good. The hug is good. It doesn't beat the last one. But man, it's a lot more rich, a lot more dark chocolate, a lot more caramel. Alright, I'm going to have to place it probably about 3rd. Alright, let's go back. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. Oh, let's try the nose first. A little bit lighter on the nose. Cheers. A lot more cherry, a lot more orange, a lot more fruit. Totally crushable, not as much of a mouthfeel and hug. Man, none of these are bad. So, alright. I'm gonna rank them. Alright, right now, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Alright. We're going to run it back and see if anything changes. Man, these, I'm pleasantly surprised because, like I said, my sweet spot I think is normally between 8 to 12. I will tell you right now, none of these are bad. Every single one of them is worth picking up at MSRP. Except maybe for Gatsby. What was Gatsby's MSRP? Like $200? And I paid $250 for it. I would do it again for $250 just because the bottle's that freaking cool. But every single one of these are, to my surprise, good. Or no, above good. Because, like I said, 8 to 12 years old is probably my sweet spot. Anything above 15 years old, with the exceptions, I think you gotta be wary of, but these are all freaking awesome. So, yeah, one through 5, yeah. Alright, let's see if it holds true. Let's go back. Let's go 5 through 1. Cheers. You know what? It's sweet. The thing I like about that one is it has a more than a touch of caramel on it. That's freaking good. That's the last one. All right, stay hydrated.